my hairy friends, and welcome to the 2020 summer anime season. And because the season has come to an open, we're gonna review the top 10 openings of summer 2020. We gotta learn to get back. So yeah, I gotta say, anime in summer 2020 has me feeling a little bit like... So as far as openings go for a very barren anime season, there's not a whole lot to choose from. I'm starving, please help me. That's not to say there isn't some good ones, but just compared to other seasons, the beginning of this top 10 might not feel quite like the cream of the crop, but we genuinely do have some gold this season, so sit back, relax, stay 6 feet away from me at all times because I don't want to catch your sick. Get away from me! All right, top 10 anime openings of summer 2020 and the worst. Here we go. One of the most hyped anime of this entire year has been the return of my teen romantic comedy Snafu. And I'd be lying if I said I wasn't waiting for this for years. I mean, romantic stuff is for girly girls. I'm a manly man, yeah! This season is definitely a bit more dramatic and melancholy than the other two, so the opening has to follow in style, and thankfully it did. The intro captures the mood of this season great, and the following verse does as well. As a whole, it's fairly straightforward as dramedy openings go, but the pre-chorus is especially beautiful. And then it builds up to the chorus, which reminds me of something I haven't seen in a while in an anime opening. What was it again? Oh, that's right, dancing. It's pretty cute, I'm not gonna lie. Not the most memorable thing as far as dance OPs go, but it got a smile out of me. Overall, a good opening to the final chapter of a great show. Have you ever had a show that you despise so vehemently? A show that people praise to the high heavens for being a tear-jerking masterpiece when the only tears you've shed are from laughing? And in that show, there's a very good OP that would have worked wonders on any other show, but because it's on this particular show, it comes off as incredibly pretentious. That's a little specific, I'm sorry. But recently, me and a group of friends watched this, and after hours of admittedly some good laughter and roasting, we realized we don't like this.
Yeah, hey, let's get it.
It's a show with a lot of senseless gore and death with no reason or substance, and a show whose animation can get incredibly ugly at times, which is really weird considering its opening. It's a very beautiful watercolored animated sequence with a somber yet cute track to complement the visuals. I actually really enjoyed watching this opening the first time without any context to the show. Unfortunately, the more the show went on, the more I realized how ill-fitted the opening was. It would have worked wonders for a more subtle drama-driven show, like something along the lines of Mushishi. So yeah, despite my thoughts on the show, as a standalone, this is a very good OP. Nothing I'd watch over and over again, but definitely worth 1 or 2 watches, that's for sure. An opening for a shoujo romance doesn't really have to do much, which is why the more memorable ones are known for being very cute. But visually, only a few have ever stood out to me. So for a shoujo show to go so dynamic with the visuals for an opening was definitely a surprise. Characters being filmed in a 3D space for something like this was really surprising, but I really enjoyed it. It adds a lot more emotion to the visuals that gives it a bigger yet more homey feel. Funny enough, the name of the song is Home. Yeah. And the song is perfectly fine. It's not necessarily the best in terms of songs we have this season. I don't even think it's the best in terms of Fruits Basket openings. It might be probably second to the bottom, honestly. But it's very intimate, and I love that, especially with the visuals. They complement each other perfectly.
You're my home, sweet home, kakayaideru.
It's not going to stand out so much with the competition, unfortunately, but the good news is that as a whole, it's definitely a good package. Big thumbs up for me, for sure.
君だよ
There's a surprising amount of romantic comedies this season, especially returning ones. So for a newcomer to have arguably the best opening, that's pretty impressive. You know, listening to the actual song, I thought it was generic at first. Cute, but like I heard that kind of song before so many times. And then I was cooking dinner, and then without thinking, I was like, wait, what the? This never happened to me before. It's like I thought it was generic, but my subconscious was like, you know, dude, that Peggy song was actually pretty catchy. There's a surprising amount of energy in the visuals, really giving a sense of style and rhythm that really keeps you tapping your toes. So yeah, surprisingly catchy and wholesome opening that's grown on me the more I've watched it. So on to number 6. Now for number... What's on the floor? Oh, look. Salt. Alright, so I'm pretty sure there's a large amount of people that want to kill me right now, so let me explain. This is a good opening. But there's a few things that kind of are working against it in this season. One, there is actually an opening done by the same artist that I think is better, and we'll get to that. And then 2, stacked up to the rest, funny enough, this just kind of sits at number 6. It just kind of fit there, and I know that there's some ReZero fans that are not going to like that answer because I take it for what it is. If you're watching it for the first time, does it get you into the mood? Does it get you into the story? Does it have good visuals? Does it have good music? All that stuff. ReZero definitely does that. But there's also some very spoilery things, which I can't show in this because I don't want to spoil it for anyone. So that kind of takes a few points out of it. But as a whole, does it capture the mood and capture the atmosphere of the show? Does it have good music? Does it have good visuals? Yes. Are there other openings that have better? Yes. So now that that's out of the way, I don't think that helped. But let's talk about the actual opening now. I love the way it starts. The harmonic arpeggio, the epic strings, that little chunky pinch bend. I love that. That's good stuff. Just like the show, it's representing there's a lot of blood. Like a lot of blood. But what's great about this opening is that it gives you a sense of sorrow while at the same time having a really intense drive. You feel a clear motivation from Subaru through the visuals and the music, which is a great feat, considering the whole show is essentially a character piece for this one character. The rest plays out pretty much the same, with the visuals never really becoming anything more than a representation of the story, so it's not super eye candy-ish, but that's still a job well done. This opening shows what to expect, tweaks the heart of long-term fans, and hypes you up for what's to come. Good job. Sometimes the visuals don't really have to do much, just keep up with the song. Because every now and then there's a song that's just so good, most of the work is going to be on it rather than the visuals, and all they have to do is just tag along. So, in the case of No Guns Life Season 2, did the visuals keep up? You put Sawano on the marquee and people will come. And that's definitely the case here. While the visuals are definitely attractive, we all know the real star. The combination of Sawano and Gene Ken Johnny from Men with a Mission, that was destined to be freaking awesome. And while the visuals definitely could have been boring, they actually did a really good job at showing the atmosphere of the show. It's dark, it's gritty, but it's very polished. It's actually super intriguing and makes me want to watch the show. You kind of get what you pay for with Sawano openings, almost to a fault. They were really exciting to talk about years ago, but at this point, the style is pretty much what to be expected. You're not really getting anything crazy or surprising anymore. When it's Sawano, you know what to expect. As a whole, it's a good opening, where I think the song might have overlooked the visuals just a bit, but it definitely could have been way worse. Now, I talked earlier about ReZero and how the artist did another opening. So, let's take a look at that. So, at first, what my brain told me was that, yeah, the visuals are definitely better. But, the more I listen to it, I actually think the song is too. Konomi Suzuki, definitely whenever you put her on a song, she's gonna do great. And sometimes they do kind of mesh together in terms of style. They definitely sound similar. But this one just oozes style. And not only just in the music, but the visuals as well. I mean, take a look at some of these. This is like super inspired. It's got this whole Gurren Lagann vibe, which is crazy because I actually watched the first episode of the show. I didn't get any of that. But in the opening, oh my god, like it makes me want to give the show a shot. And then there's the music. The music is great, especially the verse. And then once it gets to the chorus, the song and the visuals come together, and man, the visuals, there's some like solid Sakuga there. This single-handedly makes me want to give the show a fair go, and that's a huge up in my book. There's a sect of really stupid people who think that instrumental openings or instrumental-driven openings suck. It's gotta have vocals, man. It can't just be the instrumental. It sounds like the instrumental makes up 80% of the f***ing songs we listen to. An instrumental opening can really add to the atmosphere of a show. It can be done poorly, like every opening, but when it's done good, oh, it can be done good. In the case of God of High School, it showed the dirtiness and rawness of martial arts and tournament fighting to a degree that I don't think a vocal song could have done. Now, don't get me wrong, there are vocals in here, obviously, but rather than be the star, they're definitely playing the backup. Once it gets to the chorus, I love how the vocals almost sound like they're yelling to the instrumental, all right, let it rip. This opening is by far the most stylish as far as visuals go, for sure. With its use of color being a really nice look combined with the fighting animations, I'm a big fan. I feel like this one might stick in people's memories for a while, and that is always a good thing. Definitely has a classic in the making vibe to it, that's for sure. When I hear Eimers doing an opening, I set my standards pretty high, but I also have a bit of a preconceived expectation, I guess, to what she's gonna do. So when the new Fire Force opening came out, I was definitely surprised at how it sounded. This is like classic shonen, like by the books. Visual wise, it's how Fire Force is. Just great animation, fluid, action-packed, while at the same time having some really inspiring visuals. It actually moved me at points. It was really interesting because I don't really watch the show. So that's definitely a big up in my book. As far as the song goes, I think it's great. Big intro with a catchy guitar riff. Ooh, ooh. Has a verse that draws it back, pre-chorus and cut time. I love that. And then a build up to an admittedly pretty awesome chorus. If there's one thing that's holding me back from truly loving it, it's not an Eimer song. Oh my god, come back. No, please come back. It's not that she didn't sing it good. She never sings it bad. How, like, ever. How could you not like her? She has the voice of a husky angel. I mean, like a husky voice angel, not like a husky, like a fat angel. That'd be weird. Or like a husky angel, like a dog. That'd be cute. What am I talking about? Hey mom, I need my Ridley. But yeah, the song just like for some reason, you know what it is? Honestly, I keep hearing a different band in my head. Eimer sings it well, and I really do enjoy this song. I just keep hearing Unison Square Garden. I don't know why. I think if they got that band to do this particular song, I think it would have elevated it just a little more, and I think it would be a classic. I mean, just listen to Unison Square Garden just a little bit. Now listen to this chorus, and picture that in this chorus. I love what Eimer did with the song, but if Unison Square Garden and another band that had a little more high energy style to their songs did this particular track, it would have elevated it just a little more in my opinion. But again, this is still number 2. Okay, I love this opening. Before we get to number 1, I have a question. Have you ever gotten a meal set in front of you at dinner? It's the most delicious thing you've ever seen in your life. The aromas making you salivate as you reach for your fork, go to take a bite, and then the waiter slaps you in the face and then says enjoy your meal and walks away. No? Well, that's what I'm doing to you. Here's the worst anime opening of summer 2020. Oh! Like I said earlier, the instrumental driven OPs are a treat if done right. So when I heard that the Yoshida brothers were doing the opening for the upcoming anime Gibiate? Gibiate? I'm gonna say Gibiate. I was very intrigued because they do shamisen dominated music. So I couldn't wait to hear what they had. Okay. All right, this is, oh yeah, okay. Yeah, let's do it. Oh, okay. Hey, this is all right. Yeah, this is definitely fine. Sounds a bit like when they gave an anime a dub opening on American television and forgot to try, but that's fine. I mean, because again, the opening isn't just about the song. The visuals could take the song and elevate it to the next level. What the f*** is this? Ugh, what the hell is this? I understand that there are some circumstances that animators can't control right now, so I hesitate to call this lazy. But this is lazy. Nothing matches, nothing connects. There's nothing that intrigues or sticks out. For an opening in an anime about samurais and ninjas in the apocalypse, this is really boring. An opening is supposed to at least not distract from the show, but I feel like in this case it's almost pushing people away. This is bad on like every level. Ugh, what a bummer. So on that note, on to number 1. On the completely opposite end of the spectrum, there's a show that not only has openings that build up hype for its story, but just had an OP that is forcing this guy who dropped SAO during Gun Gale to actually give it another shot. This is stunning. From the visuals, the imagery, and the music, of course. It's nearly perfect. Once it gets to the chorus though, I nearly dropped my jaw to the floor. The animation is nearly ufotable levels of polish, and the music has a melody that has been stuck in my head for a week. If you haven't seen the whole opening, I would recommend just like watching it now. This opening is incredible. And not only is it the best opening of the season, in my opinion, this is the best SAO opening to date. So that's the top 10 anime openings of summer 2020, and I gotta say, I can't get that Goatee opening out of my head. I know instrumental openings can be really good, but for this particular one, I feel like vocals would have just made that song so much better. As a matter of fact,